We're here to talk about your contribution to the Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 1 album. And this one's actually a special case because you didn't do the remix, you sent me a beat, which is actually something that you do a lot of the time. We talked about that on the podcast that you were on, that you do a lot of beats. So I asked you, the way it played out was I basically contacted you and I said, do you have something like this? And I sent you a copy of the song Resonance by Home. And you were like, oh yeah, maybe these will work. So you sent me two of them. And the one that I chose was a version of, well, at least it was the same title. I wanted to ask you this first. The one you sent me was called Tryin, but it had an extra word after it. It was Tryin and then something else. But you actually released a song called Tryin, and it's not the same. So what's the difference between those two?
I'm not sure exactly, honestly, what version I sent you of it. I have the project pulled up right here, but basically a lot of times what I'll do is I'll like have the beat kind of looping and set it up like this. And I'll put it on the SoundCloud private where I sent you the beats, and then like from there I'll kind of like finish it up, change it. Sometimes I'll change the name and stuff. So like I did post this beat, I believe, under the name Tryin, but I'm not sure what I called it when I sent it to you on SoundCloud.
Okay. And so tell me first of all about this track. So it had a synth part in it. And do you start with the beat or the synth first?
I'll flip back to my screen. A lot of times I'll make a really simple beat, like just this with the drums, and like just a beat like this, something real simple. And then from there I'll kind of mess around with some synth stuff, and like I'm using Serum for basically all these synths that are in this song. Serum's like a really powerful VST that's you can do a lot of different stuff with in terms of sound design. And like that's not my specialty, but what you do on there a lot is kind of take presets I've saved and presets I've made before and adjust them from there. So like I'm not sure even what this next one is, but then I basically just added layers on top of it, like So basically, yeah, like that's how I go about making a lot of beats. Is I'll kind of start with a simple melody over a drum beat, and then add stuff on top of that.
And so with the synth line, are you writing that by hand or are you playing that through a synth? Like what software and hardware are you using when you're creating synth line? I know you said Serum.
Yes, Serum. I'll just show you what it looks like real quick too. But Serum, it looks like this, and basically, like you have a ton of control over everything. And I'm not a master at sound design, like I said, but you can do some really cool stuff with Serum, and it's super powerful. So I'll like get a Serum track like this going, and then I do everything just on this MIDI keyboard right here, which is just,
what kind of keyboard is that?
It's a Novation Launchkey, and basically, I just on FL Studio, all I really do is set the track at the beginning, and then I record everything live. So like if I go to one of these other tracks here, you can see this track is a lot longer than the small portion I use, and I basically just like re-loop it until I get it the way I want it. Like playing and recording it live though through MIDI or through straight through audio interface from guitar or bass.
Now, what about the beat? Are you programming the beat, or I saw that you had pads on that keyboard? How are you making the beats?
So for drums, I do have like drum pads on that MIDI keyboard, but I typically program the drums through FL just by hand. I mean, like on like the guitar stuff I release, I will record live drums. I have a electric drum set that I do.
Oh, I never noticed that it was electric. I see those videos where you have the multiple, you do the multiple of yourself playing the different instruments, but it never occurred to me that that's an electronic kit.
Yeah, and the electronic kits are really cool too, and like for this type of beat, like the way that you guys remixed it is cool because it's not, you guys made it completely unlike the beat itself, even though you can hear the sample, which I think is dope.
What sort of drum machine or I guess drum software are you running that through in FL Studio?
So, the way that FL Studio works with this is this side thing right here. These are
Yeah.
just like drum packs. But basically I'm
Okay.
using one-shot drum samples that are like kicks, claps, hi-hats. And
Yeah.
from different I've found like different drum packs from different producers I like and stuff like that. So a lot of
All
times
right.
on the beats I make, I do the drums like that.
Okay. And also, you were saying about us doing it differently. So what we did, or what I did, because basically I ended up remixing the song, but I was basing it off of two segments, actually three segments. I added that one whistle track that it goes into to go into the chorus. So what I did is I actually took our original drum tracks and I just clipped different samples of the actual drums, bass, hi-hat, and snare, and I kind of put those with some of the beats that you have. But then you have one segment where there is no beat on it, so I made our own beat on that one.
That's
So there's
cool.
one before the drum comes in, but I doubled up the sound that you had that you had programmed with our actual original drum sounds as the samples. So I programmed those in by hand to
That's
match what
sick.
you had done on that. Yeah,
I like
it turned
that.
out really cool. I was happy with
Hmm.
that. You said you had gotten the beats from different producers. Where are you finding these beats from? The even like the drum samples and things that you're using for drum packs. Where do you
For
get those?
sure. So like there's a lot of people who sell drum packs, but if on there's a subreddit called r/drum kits,
Oh,
and
okay.
people, yeah, people just post big packs on there, and like you can get one shot synths and stuff like that too. And since I've that's what I used to use when I was first started making beats, but in terms of like for synth and keyboard and stuff like that, I would say that Serum is like all you really need, and it took me a while to realize that, but it's super powerful.
And does Serum only come with FL Studio?
Serum's the like a standalone VST that works on
It is
any
a
thing.
standalone. Okay.
I
I
think
didn't
it's
know if
like
it
two
was
hundred
something that was
bucks.
built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's good and bad.
Yeah.
Like $200 is still like, well, that's
Mm-hmm.
$200, but I mean, God, for the amount that you
Right.
use it, that's pretty
Right.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so you get those there, and you get these beats. But like I said when we started out, you also make a lot of these and have your own. I believe you're on BeatStars and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
how are you making these beats and selling them to people and getting the word out there?
Basically, now I have like a list of people who I send out beats to each month, who have bought from me before, who are interested in them, I know, and I send a different list to different types of artists who want to work on them and stuff like that. But I was posting them just straight on YouTube, and like that led to a lot of opportunities, but also led to a lot of people just straight ripping them off YouTube. And so I don't really post any beats on YouTube anymore.
All right, and you still have just been doing it as personal sound or private SoundCloud, or
Yeah,
how are you
yeah. When I send the
doing
links
that?
out, I send them on private SoundCloud, but like I will each week export probably like 6 or 7 beats that are basically done and put them on
Damn.
BeatStars from like the week before. I'll try to take a day to do that because I've got seriously like hundreds on my computer that I just like haven't gone through. So a lot of times,
Yeah.
like the one I sent you, that Tryin one, for example, like that was from January, but I probably didn't post that on BeatStars till like April.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
How often are you putting them out?
I try to do it every week and try to put, like I said, like 6 or 7, just like ones that I know are finished because I have a problem with I just really like to make new stuff and like a lot of
Right.
times I'll make something and then kind of forget about the old stuff and like I'm trying to be more organized with that.
Right. Yeah, no, I know you like to make stuff. You've been releasing like a madman
Hmm.
ever since I met you.
Hmm.
You're
For
constantly
sure.
releasing stuff.
Hmm.
And you said that you contact some of the people with these beats. Like you have specific people that you work with now or that you just keep sending stuff to that you have a relationship, or you're just randomly sending beats to people and going, would you like to use this?
Yeah, I've never really sent it to random people. Like, I think that that's not a bad idea, like, especially of like underground artists I like and stuff. But typically, it's just only for people that I've already worked with and like
Okay.
people who have paid me before, who I know that are honest and stuff, and that I'm willing to work with again, type of thing.
No, that's really cool. And then, so before we go today, do you have I mean, I know you have stuff coming up, but do you have some stuff coming up that you'd like to mention to people, like new projects, album? I know that you have a new band that you've been playing out with. What are some things you want to tell people about what you're doing?
I'm in a band now. It's called Fig Root, and we've been playing live, and we just put our first two songs on Spotify and Apple Music and everything.
Hmm.
But we're gonna try to release an EP in the next few weeks with like 4 or 5 songs on it. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I'm in Denver, so we play just local places in downtown Denver right now. Aside from that, like I've got a bunch of stuff on my computer. I'm planning to take some time and like actually start organizing all this and figure out and start releasing a bunch of other stuff still under my name. But I've been kind of at a point where it's hard to know what what songs I've written that I should save for the band and which songs I should just post.
Right.
So been thinking about that, but like I think I've got some ideas on how I'm gonna do that.
Well, I want to thank you again for sending me this track. I actually was really, it was really fun to remix off of that track, and it made
For
it super
sure.
easy to have that as the basis. I was really glad that you did that. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.